Pecan pie, when done right, is
This is freaking awesome!
But if you're not accustomed to baking, making a pecan pie can be pretty intimidating, speaking for myself too. But today I'm going to show you how we can make something that is just as good, if not better, than a pecan pie with half as much work in half as much time.
What?
So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. But wait, before we get into the cooking, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because when I hit these subscriber goals, I'm going to let you guys, my subscribers, pick out a tattoo of your choosing that I have to get. So make sure you like and leave a comment for your tattoo ideas down below. The first thing we need to do is preheat our oven to 350F or 180C. Next, grab your 9x13 baking pan and toss in 6 tablespoons of butter. Try not to play with it too much. And then we're going to take that and toss it into our preheating oven, and we're going to allow the butter to melt just until it's melted, and then pull it out and set it aside. In the meantime, while our butter is melting, we're going to take 2 cups of raw pecans, because like most things in life, raw is better.
Oh, that's nasty.
After placing our pecans into a Ziploc bag, try to push out all the air like this, otherwise it's going to probably pop the bag back open. And then take a rolling pin, a heavy pan, heavy glass jar, whatever you want to use, and just smush down your pecans as much as you can. You don't want them to be completely powdery. You want some nice chunks so you get some texture in the final product. By the time you're done smushing up your pecans, your butter should be nice and melty like this. To that, we're going to add about half of our crushed pecan mixture. We want to reserve at least a cup left over because it's going to go on top of everything at the end. So sprinkle in approximately about half. You don't really need to measure it. It doesn't need to be perfect, but use your eyeballs here. Now, once again, set our baking dish to the side and grab a large mixing bowl where we're going to combine most of our other ingredients, starting with 1 cup of self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising, you can use 1 cup of all-purpose flour with 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a half teaspoon of salt. It does the same thing. Speaking of which, I'm going to add a little pinch of salt myself. Then we're going to go in with 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You don't need to worry about keeping your dry ingredients separate from the wet ingredients until the end, because there's really not that much going on here. So after your vanilla, we're going to go in with half a cup of whole milk, followed by 3/4 of a cup of light brown sugar. And again, this is it. There's not a whole lot of ingredients here. They kind of come together pretty easily with a quick whisking, and there's really no reason that we have to do this in 2 separate bowls and make more of a cleanup for ourselves. So after our brown sugar is added, we're going to go in with a whisk and mix everything until homogeneous. The mixture at first is going to seem very, very dry, and you're going to be like, I need to add more liquid here. There's no way this is going to come together. But as you can see, with a little bit of hard work, I promise it will come together. It's still going to be really thick, but that's kind of what we're looking for, is like a really gloopy pancake batter like this. Now, bring our baking dish back over, and we're going to use a large spoon to start scooping over our batter. 1 big spoonful at a time. There's no real right or wrong way to place your batter down here. I went with 6 large spoonfuls as evenly spaced as I could, but there's really no reason to. I wouldn't recommend pouring it on top because I don't think there's really enough batter here to fully cover everything, so I would go with spoonfuls like I'm doing. And be careful, because it's going to be really sticky to get off your spoon at the end, but I do encourage you to try to get every last drop of it. Move your baking dish to the side. Once again, grab a small bowl and take the rest of your crushed pecans and add them to that bowl. And then along with your pecans, we're going to add 1 full cup of light brown sugar. I need to get a new measuring cup set because I don't even have a cup anymore. This is just a 1/4 cup 4 times, because that's what we're doing here. Now, give that a mix to combine until it's fully homogenized. And then we're going to take kind of handful at a time and just sprinkle it over top of the baking dish mixture. Once again, we're not looking for perfection here. It's very easy. Just kind of pop it on top. Do your best to coat the batter as much as you can, but you'll see in a minute that that's not even going to be that important, because everything's going to get really well combined with some water in a second. Towards the end, you're probably going to have mostly just brown sugar left. And, you know, again, it's not going to matter because we're going to pour 1.5 very hot cups of water right on top of it slowly. We want to try to get a nice little drizzle all over the entire thing so that there's not a massive like outpouring of batter. And then I know what you're thinking, how in the hell is this going to bake and actually turn into something good? But I promise, I'll show you. So get that in to your 350 degree preheated oven. We're going to start with 45 minutes. Depending on your oven, you may need to go a little bit longer, but I think 45 minutes is a good starting point. So we're going to do that and then check it.
A few moments later.
And you'll notice in the bottom corners of your baking pan in the oven now that the water has actually combined with that sugar and basically made a caramel sauce on the bottom. And I promise you, it's going to taste amazing. So after 45 minutes, take our baking dish out of the oven and put it on something heat-proof. We're going to let it cool for about 15 minutes minimum. And that is only because that caramel sauce I was just talking about is probably 350 degrees right now and it's going to burn your mouth. So do yourself a favor and just wait that 15 minutes. I promise you, when you take this thing out of the oven and you smell it, you're going to just be beside yourself. Speaking of which, time to serve some up. So cut ourselves a nice big spoonful here. Pop it on a plate and don't forget all that caramel sauce in the bottom. We got to make sure we get that scooped out. And just pop it right on top. And then of course, I wouldn't be a good little lad if I didn't put a big old scoop of vanilla ice cream on top.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
There's no doubt about it. This is pecan pie. This is better than pecan pie. And it was super easy. 15 minutes of prep time, 45 minutes in the oven, and super easy. Anyone can do this. I promise you, anybody can make this. If you guys liked the video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know about those tattoo ideas in the comments because I'm looking forward to that. And remember, hit that subscribe button because we're trying to do this ASAP. Thank you again for watching. I'm going to dig in.